Hello and good morning everyone. So today we are going to present about implementation and assessment of general science for Form 4 and Form 5. For content, our presentation is in 5 parts. The first is introduction. In introduction, we will focus on teaching methods, which are traditional learning and 21st century learning. We also focus on teaching strategies in 21st century learning and topics in Form 4 and Form 5. Next, micro-teaching that involve in Form 4 and Form 5, pros and cons in traditional learning and 21st century learning, conclusion and references. So now let's take a look on introduction. What is teaching method? Teaching method is a method that used to achieve the aim of teaching. It is usually used by the teacher to enable student learning, create learning environment, and achieve learning objective. It should be designed in such way that students learn the knowledge and skill in which the subject was included in the curriculum. It involves simulation, guidance, direction, and encouragement in learning. For the definition, traditional learning is more to teacher-centered. It is focused on textbook, pen and paper only. Students who are facing this type of learning will sit silently and passively in their seat. The teacher will give knowledge to the student, and the student learns through memorization and recitation that may cause them not develop their critical thinking skill, problem solving skill, and decision making skill. Then the assessment and activity will be going through tests or exam. The reality of education in 21st century is of course much different. In 21st century learning, it is more to student-centered and focus on hands-on learning approach. The assessment and activity will be conducted during teaching and learning process, so the student will not feel boring during the lesson. This learning approach would develop more creative thinking and better human values while preparing the student for the Industrial Revolution 4.0 (IR 4.0), which bring the technology into our everyday life, making the education accessible anytime and anywhere. Now let's move to 21st century skill categories. It is divided into three categories, which are learning skill, literacy skill, and life skill. For the learning skill, it consists of four C's. The first one is critical thinking, where the student find the solution to the problem that they need to solve. Next, creativity. Students that have creativity will think outside the box and lead to do some innovation. Then, collaboration. This can be seen when the students have a group assignment where they're working together. And lastly, communication. For the literacy skill, it consists of three literacy, which are information literacy, media literacy, and technology literacy. For for information literacy, this skill helps students to understand the fact, figures, statistics, and data. Media literacy is the practice of identifying publishing method, it is also helpful to finding the truth with information. And lastly, technology literacy. Technology literacy is the ability of the teacher and student to understand, use, acquire, and communicate information in the technology environment. For example, student and teacher creating online content to be utilized both in and outside of the classroom. Okay, for life skill, it consists of five: flexibility, leadership, initiative, productivity, and social skill. For flexibility, is deviating from plans as needed. Leadership is motivating a team to accomplish a goal. Initiative means starting project, strategy and plans on one's own. Productivity, maintaining efficiency in an age of distraction. And social skill is meeting and networking with others for mutual benefit. Next, teaching strategies in 21st century learning. There are many digital platforms that teachers can use to engage the student in learning, such as PowerPoint, Google Classroom, Edmodo, and Nearpod. For the PowerPoint, teachers can put animation, video, pictures, so it can help the student to get a better understanding about the topic. Then Google Classroom. Google Classroom is another online platform where can be used to collect the attendance, make online tests or quiz, and students also can submit the assignment through the Google Classroom. While Edmodo is a tool that helps teachers to engage with the student, and it also can update the student development to their parents. Lastly, by using Nearpod, teacher can create lessons with informative and interactive assessment activities. So this is a topic for Form 4. There are 12 chapters, but we will focus on chapter 10, which is about chemistry in medicine and health. For Form 5, there are 8 chapters, but we will focus on chapter 2, which is about nutrition and food technology. Okay, now let's proceed with micro teaching. So let's take a look on micro teaching that use traditional method. The topic is about chemistry in medicine and health. The subtopic that has been chosen is 10.1, which is about traditional medicine, modern medicine, and complementary medicine. At the end of this session, students should be able to write the definition of each type of medical method. Students should be able to state the characteristic of each type of medicine, and students should be able to list the examples of each type of medicine. So, let's watch the video.
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all. I hope everyone's still okay and still productive to join online class with me. So please take care of yourself since we are still in MCO so that we can prevent from spreading virus COVID-19 to others. Alright, like you know, many doctors and research specialists tried to find the best way to cure this disease, but unfortunately they could not find any medicine or vaccine to kill this virus. So today, talk about medicines. I will teach you about the new topic in chapter 10, which is chemistry in medicine and health. However, at this time in our online class, I will focus on 10.1 first. I guess that you all may have a common knowledge about medicine and health, but how far your knowledge about that and how you all understand about the things that related to them. So no worries, I will try my best to deliver this content so that you can understand clearly about this subtopic and the learning objective could achieve, which are you are able to define 3 medical methods by the end of the session, and number 2, you are able to state the 5 characteristics of the medical methods by the end of the session, and the last one, you also able to list 3 examples of each type of 3 medical methods at the end of the session. Alright, so what's in 10.1? 10.1, you will learn about the 3 medical methods, which are traditional medicine, modern medicine, and complementary medicine. In this subtopic, I will explain to you about the meaning of that terms, about the all three medical methods, and then I will explain to you about the criteria between traditional and modern medicine. Next, the example of each medicines and also the functions, and lastly I will explain to all of you about the effects when you misuse these medicines and also you take in a wrong dosage. So let's continue our lesson today by looking at the meaning of each terms of a medical method. We start with the first one, that is a traditional medicine. What is a traditional medicine? Traditional medicines is a medical method that was used plants, animal and mineral-based medicines. It was a diverse practice, apparatus, knowledge and belief from a different religion. That's why there are the different traditional medicines in this world among Malay, Chinese, Indian and also the other religions. Okay, so next we move to the second one, that is a modern medicines. Modern medicines is a contrast with a traditional medicines, where it refers to the means of treating out with a variety of science that have a direct connection to health and biomedical science involving clinical medicine, medical research and surgery in the treatment of the illness and treating injuries. And we move to the last one, which is a complementary medicines. So what is a complementary medicines? Complementary medicines is a medical method that refers to various methods in healthcare that come from various forms of culture. And what you have to know in a complementary medicines, it was divided into, the first one is not involve surgery to human body. The second one not use synthetic drugs. The third one maybe it's referred to the modern and traditional medical practitioners view. So I hope you can understand clearly all the meaning of the type of medicines. Next, we move to the criteria of the two medical methods in this subtopic, which are the traditional medicines and also the modern medicines. So, what are their criteria? Let's look for the traditional medicines first. Okay, the criteria of the traditional medicines that you should know. Okay, for sure, their treatment is basically use natural ingredients, okay, which are from the plants and animals. The second one, okay, their effectiveness is low and take time. The third one is inherited and practiced for generations. The number 4, for the proven, okay, the traditional medicines, proven of their effectiveness is basically by the experience. And the last one, the cost is low. Then how about the criteria for the modern medicine? So here I have list for you the criteria of the modern medicine, where it also have the 5 criteria. Okay, the first one is a treatment. Okay, the treatment of the modern medicine, it is used as synthetic drugs, and by that it is very effective and faster. And look for the methods. Okay, they use a modern method where they use a surgery or laser treatment, and sometimes they also use a radiotherapy. Okay, for the proven their effectiveness of modern medicines, okay, they use a clinical evidence, and for sure the cost is high. So here I will recommend to you to make a table and please list all the characteristics for the both type of the medicines, which are the traditional medicines and modern medicine, so that you can see clearly the difference between traditional medicines and modern medicine. Okay everyone, without wasting any time, I want to continue our online class today with the examples of traditional medicine, modern medicine and complementary medicine. I will show a few examples, but please do not limit on what I will list here. Because of what? Because of there are many of the example of the traditional, modern and complementary medicines outside there that you may found after this class. Okay everyone, so let's look on the examples of the 3 medical methods in this subtopic. So first we start with the traditional medicines. Okay, since you know the traditional medicines basically made up from the plants and animals. So here the question is, what's a type of the plants and animals that have been used for the treatment? So here I have list for you the 4 examples of the traditional medicines. And again, I remember to all of you, please do not limit only that example in traditional medicine, because of there are a lot of other example that was used in traditional medicines by people in this world. So we start on the number 1, which is aloe vera. What are the functions of aloe vera? Basically, aloe vera could release from pain because of the sunburn and also can heal wounds. Okay, and I also know that many people in this world, especially women, love to use aloe vera because of it can be as a skincare. Okay, because the function of aloe vera, okay, good to keep your skin clean and also hydrated. So next we move to the second one, which is ginseng. What is the function of ginseng? Okay, ginseng is the most popular among the Chinese, and it was rapidly used as a traditional medicines among of them because of they want to maintain their body health. And commonly men love to consume ginseng because of ginseng could gain their energy. But please, you all don't make a wrong conclusion that only men can consume ginseng. Why? Because of have some women in this world also consume ginseng, but it's not recommended because ginseng may change your menstrual cycle. Okay, other than aloe vera and ginseng, ginger also good in traditional medicines. Because of what? Because of ginger can balance blood sugar. And here I want to give a good news to the girls, okay, because ginger also can promote weight loss. So if you want to do so, you can try to consume ginger in your daily life. Okay everyone, I hope you all still with me. So we move to the last examples of the traditional medicines, which is hibiscus. For your information, hibiscus not only a beautiful flowers that you usually found, but it can use to lower your body temperature, treat heart, and also increase urine production. There is a lot of function hibiscus, and here I want to add some information. In Africa, hibiscus used as a tea where they made it to treat the cancer, liver disease, and cold symptoms. I hope everyone can understand about the explanation of example of the traditional medicine just now, and so we move to the modern medicines. Okay, there are 3 examples of the modern medicines. Okay, the first one is analgesics. What is the function of analgesic? Okay, analgesic could be used to release pain, and you may find the analgesic in paracetamol. And I'm sure that most of you love to take paracetamol when you get fever, and also you may find analgesic in aspirin. So next, the second one is antibiotic. Antibiotic is commonly used, okay, where it is to kill or prevent any spreading bacteria. It was made up from the bacteria that can fight bacteria that cause disease. But please don't get confused. It cannot use to cure the COVID-19 since it's used for bacteria, not for the virus. Okay, so we look on the last examples of the modern medicines, which is a psychotherapeutic. Psychotherapeutic also the modern medicines that have been used to treat the psychiatric people. And what you should know in psychotherapeutic, it has three classes, which are the stimulants, okay, number 2, antidepressants, okay, which are basically used to treat the people that face with depression. And if you confused, you may take a clue. Antidepressants used for depressions people. And then the last one, the last classes for the psychotherapeutic is antipsychotics. So let's look on the example of complementary medicines. Okay, what are they? So here I have list for you, for example, of complementary medicines. And for information, complementary medicine is basically part of a medical products because of either they involve the traditional medicines or modern medicines, but it is not considered as a part of medical standard because of some reasons. So we start with number 1, acupuncture. What are the function of acupuncture? Acupuncture is basically used to release a pain, and number 2 is the most popular treatment that used by people in this world is traditional massage, where it also can release a pain, tired and nerve problems. And the number 3 is Homeopathy. What I want to tell to you about homeopathy, it is a popular traditional Chinese medicines where it could give the ability to fight the disease, but you have to remember it is not to kill the bacteria of the disease. Okay, it is only the ability to give, it is only the ability in order you to fight that disease. So it is also effective, where I have one friend that use homeopathy and it is worse. Then let's move to the last one for the examples of the complementary medicines. What you should know is herbal therapy. Herbal therapy is also the part of the complementary medicines because of many people believe that these medicines that made up by the natural resource and it's not give the bad side effects to them. So I am pretty sure that many of the people in this world still use herbal therapy to release a pain. So here what you should know, it also depends. If you have heart disease, please do not apply herbal therapy in order to cure that disease. So please take note all the example of the complementary medicine, traditional medicines and also the modern medicine. And I hope you all can understand all the example of these medical methods. So let's move to another part in this subtopic, which is you have to know how to differentiate the medicine that made by human or known as a synthetic or made from a natural resources. So here I have list for you, and please jot down the information about made by human and the medicine made from a natural resources. So there is a contrast between both of them, and the first one we can look from a test. We can look from a test. When it's made by human, of course they will conduct a clinical test to see the effectiveness, to see the healthy or safety of that medicines. And then when it made from the natural resources, of course it's not tested and of course it's not tested by a clinical test, but it is depends on the experience. So when it is a clinical test, of course it is costly, and when it is based on experience and not involve any technology to conduct that test, so it is low cost for the medicine that made up from natural resources. And then you should know the medicine that made by human, it is produced in lab, okay, with a good procedure, SOP, and etc. So for example, I give here vitamin C. Okay, vitamin C that produced in lab will sell in a pharmacies. Okay, but for the medicine that made from a natural resources, it get from plants and animals, and also the example is vitamin C, but it is different with made by human, where it can be get from the pharmacy, but for the natural resources you can get vitamin C from a fruit only. So that is very important for you to differentiate the medicine that made by human and also the medicine that made from the natural resources. Okay, so let's move to the last part of this subtopic, which is the effects when you misuse these medicines or you take in wrong dosage. Okay, the first one, it can cause a death. Okay, even you take a traditional medicines, modern medicines or complementary medicines, okay, it may cause a death if you not follow that procedure or you follow the dosage that you have take. And then the second one, you may have a bad side effects. Okay, you may get a fever or headache. And the part that is very dangerous is medicine is not longer affected to your body. Because of what? When you misuse medicines and you take in a lot of dosage, your body may immune to that medicines, and that medicines not only affected in order to kill that to kill that bacteria or to cure that disease. And the last one is you may be a drug addiction if you use the medicines in a lot of dosage in your life. So I think that's all for today, and I hope you can understand what you have learned today. Okay, and I will post a few questions about this subtopic, and please answer it so we can discuss later. So I hope you try to understand all the things that we have discussed in our class today. So that's all. Thank you everyone, and please stay safe.
Please do this question. Later we will discuss the answer together. The development of science and technology can create an atmosphere of active and fun learning. Okay, for the next micro teaching, which involving 21st century learning, the teachers are showing a few examples of methods that can be used, such as using the slide, video, collaborative, and also the use of the application. Since we are having the COVID-19 pandemic, it has pushed all school and higher education institutions to do online learning to ensure that the effective learning continues. Now, let's move to the micro teaching that use 21st century learning. The topic is about nutrition and food technology. The subtopic that has been chosen is 2.1, the importance of taking good nutrition and practicing good eating habit. At the end of this session, students should be able to explain about food calorie. Students should be able to elaborate the factors that affect the calorie intake of an individual, and students should be able to explain the relation between health problem and nutrition intake. So let's watch the video.
Assalamualaikum and very good morning to all of you. So how's your Ramadan going on? I hope all of you are still excited to go through this Ramadan as we are getting near to the end, right? And at the end we will be having Aidilfitri Day. So for this lesson we'll be using slide presentation because it is suitable way for you, as some of you are hardly getting coverage for your internet, right? Okay, so today we will be learning new chapter, and I hope everyone can jot it down notes because this chapter is really important and needed for the next level of your studies. So to start the chapter, let's watch the video in the next slide. Okay, so do you watch the video in the previous slide? I hope you had. Okay, so which one are you? Healthy food lover or junk food lover? Okay, it doesn't matter which one you are, but do you know that every food that you eat has their own nutrition level? So, today's topic, we will learn about nutrition and food technology in the subtopic of 2.1, the importance of taking good nutrition and practicing good eating habits. Okay? In this chapter, the student will be able to first state the meaning of food calorie, 2. Elaborate the factors that affect the calorie intake of an individual, and 3. Explain the relationship between health problem and nutrition intake. Before we start our topic, let's refresh a little bit about balanced diet that you have already learned in Form 2, right? So what's need to be in a balanced diet? Anyone knows the answer? Okay, hold on. We will discuss it during the discussion. Okay, so in every food that you eat in your diet, each of them contain their own calories value. So what is calorie value? Let's move to the next slide. So what is food calories value? The calorie value of a food is the amount of energy released when 1 gram of food is fully oxidized. So in every food that you eat every day, you take it in the morning, evening, night, it all have their own calorie value. So how do you want to measure the value? There will be two ways, which are by using an instrument called calorimeter bomb, or measure the calorie value that's stated on the food label. Every food that you have eaten have their own calorie value. In the pie chart in the slide shows carbohydrate and protein have 16.7 kJ per gram, while fat has 37.6 kJ per gram. So when you eat a full portion of carbohydrate, protein and fats, you will get an overall amount of calorie that be taken off. Okay, so for example, in the slide below shows a nutrition facts label. It states that amount of calories per serving of the product is 155 kJ per gram, which is the combination of the protein, fiber, fat, and carbohydrate that contained in the food. Okay? Okay, so how to estimate the calorie intake in our food? Let me give you an example. Yesterday for more, I have taken bread, orange and drink milk, and each of them have their own mass of food that I have taken for. Okay, so at the nutrition fact value of the food has stated the amount of calorie for 100 grams. So for the total calories taken, I just need to multiply the mass of the food taken with the calorie value of food. So I will get the exactly amount of total calories each and sum up all of it, which the total of calories that I have taken yesterday morning is about 5,387.5 kilojoule. Okay, so until now, do you understand everything about calories? About how to measure the calories, how to estimate the value of calories that based on the food that we eat. Okay, so if you are understand about that, let's proceed with the next topic, which is factor affecting individual calorie needs. Okay, so each individual have their own calories need based on a few factors, and we will see this factor in the next slide. Okay, here is some factors that can affect the individual calorie needs. So the first one is about the body size. So the fatter the person, the more energy is needed as they have more cells in their body. The energy that comes from the calories obtained from the food will be used to cover up all the cells in the body. The second one is about the gender, male and female. So as we all know, male have more high metabolism and more active than women's, right? So it's lead them to need more energy from the food that they eat. So that's why we always see men can eat a lot more than women. The third one is about the age, young peoples and old people. So the young peoples, or we can say kids, use more calories and energy as they are in growing phase, which lead them to become more active. So as they eat the food, they use immediately the energy to move to do their physical activities. Okay. Next one is physical activity. Okay, physical activity is include doing exercise like climbing, hiking, walking, and also it's include doing heavy work every day. For example, a contractor who work at a construction site needs a lot of calorie more than a clerk that working in the office and just working in front of the computer. The heavy work that they do need a large amount of energy to recover their strength so that they can complete their job. Health condition also one of the factor. A healthy person and a sick person have different need of calories. This is because a healthy person is affected by the size of the body, gender, age, and so on. But for the sick person, their calorie intake is depend on the type of disease that they have. For example, a heart failure patient need to reduce food that contain fats as it will make their disease become a lot more worse and can cause death. And the last one is about the surrounding temperature. People that live in a cold clime such as US, Britain, Antarctica need more energy to keep their body temperature balanced, more than people that live in Saudi Arabia which in a hot clime. As for us that live in Khatulistiwa clime should be very grateful as our body temperature always balanced because we are not so cold and so not so hot. Okay? So student, do you still feel okay and can digest all the information that I give to you? So if you can, let's proceed with the relation between the health problem and nutrition intake. Okay? Okay, so now we already know about the factor that affecting the needs of individual calories. Each of us need different amount of calories as we are doing different things every day. Although you are saying that all of you are students, but most of you are doing different activity in your daily life. Some of you may only lay on the bed while others go gardening, which needs a lot of energy to do it. So other than knowing the calories need, we also need to do a balanced diet and have a good nutrition intake. Nutrition intake refers to a balanced diet that consists of these 7 levels of food that stated in the slide, such as carbohydrate, fats, protein, vitamin, mineral, fiber, and also water. If you are lacking or getting more of these 7 levels of food, the person will be considered as malnutrition. Okay, so let's take a look on the tables in the slide. The tables refers is showing a few examples of of health problems caused by malnutrition, such as kwashiorkor, beriberi, scurvy, night blindness, goiter, and also anemia. Okay, we take a look on night blindness. Night blindness is caused by the lacking of vitamin A in their body. So how we want to avoid this? The person that has night blindness need to eat food that contain vitamins such as carrot, tomato to improve back their sinus. To avoid this problem to happen, we really need to take care of our eating habits so it will not causing a problem to our body. Okay? Okay, so this is some of the examples that show if you are having a bad eating habit. All of these health problems can affect your daily life activity and performance in doing your work. Okay, so the frequent problem is obesity, which happen if you are eating high calories food. The problems, which is obesity, can lead to other health problems such as heart failure, high blood pressure, kidney problem, and many more. So to avoid from getting obesity and other health problem, we need to change the eating habit to become more healthier. Okay? Okay. It is not wrong to eat junk food. Everyone can eat, but not daily. So you need to cut it out a little bit so that your food habit will become more balanced and healthier. Okay, students? So for this lesson, I have provided a few games for you to play. So click to the link provided to play this game. And at the end, I will inform to you who get the highest mark for the games. Okay? So before we end our class today, I want all of you to discuss with your friends about what is the importance of taking nutritious food and have a balanced diet. You can discuss about it in the group chat. Okay? Is it clear, everyone? Good. Okay, let's meet up in the group chat to discuss. As the conclusion for today's topic is it's okay to eat anything that you desire for, such as eating cakes, eating McDonald's, and many more. But please take it moderately because we want to avoid any health problem which will occur if we take junk food excessively. Okay, because this thing will weaken our performance and activity in our daily life. So please check your calorie values in all product that you buy and eat healthily. So today class will be end now, and for the next class we will proceed with the new subtopic. So happy Ramadan and have a nice day. Assalamualaikum.
Okay, now it's time to play a game and have some fun. So please click to the link that has been provided. Both methods have their respective pros and cons. So let's proceed with pros and cons for traditional learning and 21st century learning. Pros of traditional learning. First, face-to-face interaction. With traditional learning, students are able to interact with their teacher and directly ask the question if they do not understand about the topic. Thus, it can create a friendly relationship between the teacher and student, as well as can develop communication skill. Next, extracurricular activities. Extracurricular activities is one of important activity in traditional school. It provides a platform for the student to develop their individual skill. For example, sport, debate, or painting. So, it can increase confidence level of a student. It is impossible to do this in online learning. Then, pre-plan and organize. Schools are well organized in traditional learning. This can help to develop punctuality, discipline, and organization to the student. This can give them a sense of responsibility. For the cons of traditional learning, first, crowded classroom. So basically, traditional learning will involve many students. If there are many students in the classroom, it will be difficult for the student to catch up with the lesson and they will not understand about the topic. Then limited interaction. Since there are so many students in the classroom, it is impossible for the teacher to give full attention to each student. Due to the lack of the attention, students will not focus in the class and there will be no interaction between the student and the teacher. Okay, lastly, passive learner. In traditional learning, students only sit, listen, and receive information from the textbook and from the teacher. It will make the learning session boring and the student give will not fully understand what have been taught. Let's take a look on pros of 21st century learning. First, improve engagement. With technology, the learning becomes more fun and more enjoyable. Therefore, it encourages the student to learn and the student will be more interested to the subject. Besides, teachers who use technology to present their lesson can engage to their student more easily. Second, develop critical thinking. In 21st century learning, students know how to apply their knowledge and skill they develop during learning in real life. And lastly, students can learn useful life skills through technology. Technology can help develop many practical skills. So by using technology, teacher can create slide presentation, writing email, and use other digital platform to their learning session. For cons of 21st century learning, first, technology can foster cheating in class and on assignment. For example, copy and paste assignment. Second, technology can distract students. Students will not pay attention during class session. They can play game, scrolling social media or doing other activities, so it can decrease their attention towards the class session. And lastly, unequal access to technology. For example, internet access. Not all students have internet access. Students who has poor coverage will feel stressed during the online learning because they cannot join the class. It also will be hard for them to focus and get along with the topic since they miss what the class discussed about the topic. So, in your opinion, which one is better, traditional learning or 21st century learning? As a conclusion, traditional and modern teaching method, which is 21st century learning, are both effective and useful in today's education. Effective does not mean being perfect or give a wonderful performance, but bringing out the best in students. Traditional techniques use repetition and memorization of information to educate students. It means that they not develop their critical thinking, problem solving, and decision making skill. While modern learning encourages students to collaborate so it becomes more productive.